Hello and welcome. My name is Cole, Dwayne Cole, and I'll be taking you through a series of lessons as it relates to information technology, or ICT as we so often refer to it as. Now, we will be covering a series of topics, and of course, the first section that we'll be looking at is fundamentals of hardware and software. And in covering the fundamentals of hardware and software, we'll be looking at the various subtopics. Subtopic 1.1 Basic Computer Components. Subtopic 1.2 Input Device and Media. Then we have Output Devices. Then Primary Memory. Then we have Secondary Storage. We also have system software, we have data processing, application software, user interfaces, and at 1.10, we'll be looking at types of computer system. But of course, if one is going to be looking at the computer, you will first need to know what really a computer is all about. Now, what is a computer? A computer is said to be an electronic device that manipulates information or data. It has the ability to store, retrieve, and process data. Now, let's break apart what we have in front of us here. So, a computer would need some form of electricity to function. And with electricity to function, a computer will be able to manipulate. Manipulate meaning make changes to information or data. And this electronic device enables you, it have the capacity to store data and information. You can also retrieve data and information. And of course, you will also be process data. Now, on the screen, you are seeing an image of a desktop computer, which is just one form or one type of computer. Because any device that you will own, whether it be a laptop, a tablet, or so on, once it uses some form of electricity and it manipulates information and data and is able to store, retrieve, and process data, then it is classed as a computer. Now, what are the various components that make up the computer? So, the term computer generally refers to a desktop machine and laptops, is but it can also include, like I mentioned before, handheld games, games console, as well as your portable devices such as your smartphone and your tablet. Now, the basic component of a computer are categorized as either hardware or software. What is that really saying? It is saying that a computer of itself is made up of hardware and software. So all the various parts of the computer, it can be categorized in two heading, two groups. Either they are hardware or software. So when you think of the computer in two light, hardware and software coming together to give us a computer. Now, let's zoom in somewhat as to what a hardware is really about. When one might ask, when you hear the term hardware, what comes to mind? In general, some person might think that lumber, because you go to the hardware to buy lumber and all those material. But those materials that you go to the hardware to purchase, they are of such that you can see them and can see them and touch them, they are classified as hardware. So let's switch that knowledge to the computer side of things. Therefore, what we're simply saying, when it comes down to a computer, any part of the computer that you can see and touch is classified as a hardware. Let's look at the definition on our screen. Hardware is any part of your computer that has a physical structure such as the keyboard. Yes, you can see the keyboard and you can touch it, or mouse, and you can see the mouse and you can touch it as well. It also includes all of the computer internal parts, meaning if you should open your computer system, there are several parts inside as well. And once you can see them and you can touch them, they are classified as a hardware as well. All right. Now, let's turn our attention to the software. The software of itself is generally the opposite of the hardware, in some essence, meaning software, you can see it, but you cannot touch it. Okay? So, software is any set of instructions that tells the hardware what to do and how to do it. So the question is, do you think a hardware can function without a software? Simply, no. Because it is the instruction of the software that tells you, that enables your computer to function by telling it what to do and how to do it. Examples of software include your web browsers, your games, and word processing, just to name a few. Now, let's look at some specific parts as it relates to the fundamentals of your computer system. Now we have the central processing unit, otherwise known as the CPU, popular referred to as the brain. And no question there, once a part of the computer is being referred to as the brain, you know how powerful it is. But we will look at these in more details, so let's just look at the overview of it.